second paper that we are reviewing, and the third set that you should have finished, right? So up until now, we should have finished 16, 17, and today 18. So by the end of today, please send me your picture or scan of PhD paper 18 to show your completion, okay? And then tomorrow, I would like you to finish PhD 19, and then the following day, I would like you to finish PhD 20, so that by the time you return to school, you would have done at least 5 sets of practice papers, okay? That's one, your assignment. So today, finish 18 with me. Tomorrow, finish 19 yourself. Monday, you should come to school with 16 to 20 fully completed, with 16 to 18 marked, because I've gone through these 3 papers, okay? I may or may not send you the answers to 19 and 20. I may not have time to finish annotating all of them, all right? So I've already sent you the answers to 16, 17, and 18 with annotations, right? Please go and do your marking and complete it before school reopens on Monday. This implies, therefore, that you need to actually print out the papers, right? And have a physical copy so that we can analyze it. Then we can do some item analysis when we come back to school. And then I can zero in on your areas of strengths and weaknesses and whether you've improved in closed passage and comprehension, which are the 2 areas that I focused on during all of my Zoom sessions, all right? So we'll see whether you've improved in these 2 areas. When school reopens, I will administer a test to measure whether you have retained some of the knowledge that I've imparted to you over the course of this June holidays. So please make sure that you come prepared, right? During one of the first few days of school, I will administer a full paper 2 test, okay? Followed by a full oral test, okay? So yes, you heard correctly, there will be another oral test coming up, right? Where I will evaluate you according to PSLE rubrics, and I will give you feedback on your performance as you currently stand in terms of oracy. So please go and review, revise, practice according to all the tips that I've given to you individually, right? All of you have received at least half an hour from me, right? So please use that half an hour and the tips I've given you to refine and improve your practice in oracy, because I will be testing you on that as well. Final piece of information, right? I will be starting a shared folder in Google, which I will share the link of on the parents and students chat. In this folder will be all the practice papers that I currently possess. Everything, right? PhD, EPH, past year papers, papers from other schools, whatever, it will all be put in there, right? So if you want extra practice for any paper, it can be oracy, listening, paper 2, paper 1, whatever, situational writing, composition, it will all be in that folder, categorized by either schools or paper type or years or particular topics, okay? I encourage you to contribute to this folder. So if you have a certain set of papers that are not in that collection, please send it over to me. Then I can put it into that folder and we can all share it, okay? And we can all benefit from our collective possession of these practice papers, right? This is not compulsory. It's entirely up to you whether you want to contribute and whether you want to do those papers or not. But it's an avenue for extra practice. In case some of you have run out of your PhD, you've done all PhD papers, you run out of your PSLE papers, you've done all your PSLE practice papers, then this is another avenue for practice. And remember, for English, right, exposure equals to confidence, right? The more you're exposed to, the more practice you do, the more types of passages you encounter, the more prepared and confident you will be, because you would have been experienced and exposed to all these varieties, okay? So that's my final note. Without further ado, let's get started, okay? So I want to make a comment that this particular paper is actually very challenging, okay? In terms of what? In terms of both the closed passage, the synthesis, and the comprehension open-ended. All 3 sections are markedly more challenging than PhD 16 or 17. So 18 is the most difficult paper amongst all 5, which is why I chose it to be the final paper we review before school reopens, right? I didn't want to start with 18 because I thought it was a bit too tough. So 16, 17, relatively easy. 17 in particular, quite easy, right? But now you will see in 18, something that resembles the difficulty level of a difficult PSLE paper, okay? Why I say difficult? Because PSLE also differentiated lah. Some PSLE years, the English is easier. Some PSLE years, the English is harder. I'm sure you all can see it, right? When you practice all your different 2021, 2022, 2023, you see the difference. Okay, but this would closely resemble a year when English is challenging. So I think it's a good exposure, right? So don't be too disheartened if you do not perform in the same level for PhD 18 as you do for 17 or 16, because by nature, 18 is rather tough. And I'll show you, okay? So let's go. Remember, what's the first excuse me, what's the first step we always do in closed passage, right? We'll always, what do? Yep. Tanish, go ahead.
We find the title.
No, we don't. What do we always do in the first step, Dia?
We write the topic sentence down.
So this is the topic sentence, right? Okay, this is my topic sentence. My topic sentence is the first sentence, right? And the first sentence always tells me both the genre as well as the tense of the passage. In this case, this is obviously an information text. Okay, it's not a narrative because there are no characters and there are no narrative arcs. There's no storyline. It's purely delivery of facts through information text. And therefore, this implies that the tense is going to be in the present or the future. Okay, it's either going to tell me about what is currently true and will always be true, or it's going to tell me about what are like the future options that are available to me now that I know this particular set of facts. Okay, Nicholas, are you raising your hands? No, right? Okay, right. So let's move on. So knowing this, remember therefore that all my verbs are going to mostly be in this particular tense. Okay, unless I am narrating a past event, which is highly unlikely in information text. I will generally be confined to the present, perfect, present, continuous, and simple present tenses. Okay, so that's what helps me to narrow down my answers. Then, of course, I remember that this also has to do with subject-verb agreement rule. Okay, so there'll be quite a number of subject-verb agreement rule tests along my questions. Okay, so from a scientific perspective, gratitude is not. So let's do in triads again. Maybe we can have Kanish do 51. Always give me the clue before the answer. Skylar do 52, clue before answer. Jairus do 53, clue before answer. Okay, Kanish, go ahead, start us off.
The clue is not.
Actually, no, the clue is perspective. Okay, but never mind. Tell me your answer.
Just.
Not just an action. No. Gratitude is not an action. Gratitude is not an action. Kanish, can you see that gratitude is a feeling? It's not an action, right? You cannot do gratitude to other people. So your statement is factually and fundamentally incorrect. You must apply logic to your answers. Okay, you cannot just put in an answer that looks grammatically correct but does not fit. And here I point out to you that the difficulty of this passage lies in the fact that you can fit in grammatically correct answers, but yet it's still wrong. Okay, why? Because they put a very clear context, and if you are not alert to the context, you will get it wrong. The context here is perspective. Perspective is your head, right? If your head is something that you think about, then your heart is something that you feel, right? So therefore, gratitude is not what? Joshua?
Actually.
It's not actually an action, right? Good. Okay, some of you may actually put the word really. It's not really an action, right? So actually and really are both acceptable, but actually is a better answer because factually, gratitude is not an action, right? It's something that you feel, right? Good. Let's go on. 52, please. Go ahead, Skylar.
The clue is everything that you receive.
Everything that you receive. Very good.
The answer is appreciating.
Very good. So I want to point here that the clue is not just everything you receive, but there is a pattern here. Can you see counting your blessings, noticing simple pleasures, and appreciating, right? Can you see the ing pattern here, right? Notice the ing pattern that is replicated. And again, English loves the number 3. There's always triads, right? There's always things that occur in 3, right? So there's a pattern here, counting your blessing, noticing simple pleasures, and appreciating everything that you receive. So this passage is complex, right? It's testing your knowledge and awareness of patterns in English, right? So if you notice the ing pattern, you will not make the mistake of putting the wrong form of the verb. So it has to be in ing, okay? Yes, alternative answers. Lucas, go ahead.
For 52, can I put cherishing?
Okay, sure. I agree. That works. Now that's a complex alternative. Yes, Dia?
For 52, can I put treasuring?
Yes. Again, these are synonyms of appreciating, cherishing, treasuring. These are synonymous. So yes, fully accepted. Okay. These are all good alternatives. Please keep up the quality of the answers. So I'm glad that they're all in the ing form, right? Because you've obviously noticed the ing, even though you may not have spotted the clue, right? Subconsciously, you notice it when you read it. Again, I remind you, one of the premier strategies of closed passage is reading it aloud. Remember, engaging two centers of your brain, not just the visual cortex, but also the auditory sensor. Okay, so your visual and your auditory work together to give you the answer, even if it's subconscious. Okay, good. Let's move on. 53. Jairus, please go ahead.
The clue is as if everything,
Good.
and the answer is.
Wrong. Okay, and this is an example of a high quality mistake. You are correct in a sense that it's singular because everything is a collective noun. So normally if everything is the clue, you will be correct. But in this case, you are wrong because it's as if you recognize it is a hypothetical. A hypothetical is when something is not real, but you are imagining or thinking as if it were, right? So remember, whenever you use a hypothetical, it's always were. If I were a butterfly, I would fly away. If I were a billionaire, I would spend all my money on candy. If I were Jairus, I would not have made this mistake. Okay, if I were. So it doesn't matter what tense the rest of the sentence is in. A hypothetical always takes a were. Okay, the moment you see if, you have to be alert to an hypothetical. I'm not saying every time if is hypothetical. If can also be conditional. If it's a conditional, then this does not apply. But if it is a hypothetical, then it's always were. Okay, so be very alert to when they are telling you to imagine something, but it's not actually true. Okay, the moment you have an imagination, you're predicting something or you're thinking it's not actually true or cannot be true, then you are dealing with a hypothetical and it must be if I were. So this mistake is fully permissible. If you are not familiar with hypothetical now, I would not blame you for making this mistake. Okay, Jairus, it's perfectly fine. But now that you do know this, I don't expect you to make this mistake. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm pointing out to you, all hypotheticals must be were. If they were, if we were, if you were, if I were, if Jairus were, if Dia were, if Amelia were, it doesn't matter who, how many, it's always were. There's no subject-verb agreement rule here. Okay, if I were, if they were, if you were, if I were, whatever. Okay, next triad. Let's have Javier, can we do 54? Nicholas, can we do 55? Duncan, can we do 56? Okay, so clue before answer, please. Javier, 54.
Life lacks with the abundance.
Okay, lacks. Focus from what your life lacks. Okay. What your life lacks. Okay. So over here. Okay. So what's the answer?
Not.
No. It is. You're contrasting between what is negative, what your life lacks, and what is present, is positive. How can it be not? If you put not, right, then you're negating the positive. This is a comparison of contrast, you know. You're comparing between what your life lacks to what is present. Genevieve?
Already.
Yes, very good. Thank you. All right. I'm assuming that most of you put already, right? If you did, please put your hands down, right? If you raise your hands and you got the same answer as already, please put your hands down so I know that it's the same answer. If you have a different answer, then I will listen. But before I listen to your alternative answers, let me explain. What your life lacks, meaning you don't have anything, right? To what you already have means what you already have. It's something that's in your life now. It's not something that you need to take or acquire. Okay, it's already here. Okay. Right. Let's hear some options. Adrian.
What if I wrote currently?
Okay, I'll accept it. It's a bit awkward, but it works. Not grammatically wrong, and meaning-wise close enough. Okay. Currently, all right. Yeah, sure. Kanish.
Not already, but can it be always?
No, it's not what. How can abundance be always present? You mean you're always going to be abundant? That is again, Kanish, can you see the pattern in your mistakes? Kanish? Where are you, Kanish?
See.
Kanish, can you see the pattern of your mistakes now?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, you have to apply common sense and logic. Can you always be abundant? Cannot, right? Because you're already saying that your life is lacking in some stages and then you want to focus on what you already have. So if you are focusing on what you already have, then you are ignoring what you are lacking, right? That means that your life is not always abundant. Right? It means that sometimes you are abundant, sometimes you are lacking, right? And that's the nature of life, right? Nobody is ever always completely happy. There's always something that's lacking, right? That's a common and a human universal adage. Nothing in life is permanent. And we will suffer setbacks every now and again. So you cannot say you're always abundant. So incorrect in terms of its most fundamental factual nature. Okay? Kanish, please think factually and think commonsensically before you put the answer down. If it cannot pass your own common sense test, then it's wrong. Okay? Don't put in an answer simply because it looks like it's going to be correct. Okay. 55, please go ahead.
The practice.
Okay, the practice of gratitude. Okay, and actually it's STEM now, okay? It should be STEM, okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Using.
Really, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, never mind. At least you voiced the fact that you're not sure. It's you stem, and this is collocation, right? So something stems, and it's a preposition. Okay, this is a preposition. Okay. Yeah, let's have Jairus answer.
Stem from the practice
Yeah.
of
You stem from, right? You stem from something. It's a collocated phrase. Whenever you see the word stem, right, it's always stem from. Okay, it's stem from. It can never be stem to. It can never be stem with. No other preposition fits here. Only stem from. It's very strict. Okay, so no other possible answers here. Okay, it's literally just stem from. Okay, 56, go.
I think the clue is by and time. My
Okay.
answer is taking.
Very good. You take time, right? You take the time to practice gratitude, okay? By taking the time. Again, can you notice that there's a pattern? That a lot of these verbs are in the ing form. Why is it in the ing form? Because it's a practice, right? You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's a common and constant thing, right? That's why a lot of the verbs are now in the ing form. Because we are talking about gratitude as a practice, something that we constantly do. Okay, so be aware that after a while you should get the pattern. I think a lot of the verbs are going to be in ing form. Okay, you should get the hint, right? Okay, good. Let's do the next triad. Let's have maybe Zoe, you can do 57. Zoe, please be present in this frame. Shijay, you can do 58. And Clarice, you can do 59. Okay, so let's have Zoe start us off, please. Clue and then answer.
The clue is sleep better and have
Okay.
will.
Okay, no. So look at the sentence. Reflect upon things they are thankful for, experience more positive emotions, sleep better, and what? Have stronger immune system. So there are a lot of things happening here. This, and what? This. Right? So it's this, right? This, so more positive emotions, sleep better, and what? Stronger immune system. So you must see the sentence structure here. We are replicating three things and we're linking them together, right? The word and tells you it is a link, right? What word works with and to link separate things? Dia? Also, very good, right? So you see, when they do all these things, right? Reflect, take time to notice, they experience more positive emotions. That's one. They sleep better. That's two. And also have stronger immune systems. That's three. Okay. Again, in groups of three. Can you see how obsessed English is with a triad, right? It keeps on grouping things in threes. It's just a normal and very natural symmetrical way to do it. Okay. So you notice three is like that. So the whole point is symmetry in language, right? Okay. Yes, Jairus.
Can we say sleep better and even have stronger immune systems?
So you use even to deepen the connection. I'm sad to say no, because if you use even, right, then you're saying that immune system is the most important point. Even, right, even emphasizes the last point. But no, all 3 points are equally beneficial and equally important. Good sleep, stronger immune system, positive emotions, they're all equal. So you cannot use even. There's no evidence from the text that the immune system is the strongest of the 3 points. Okay? Remember that even is used to emphasize something's importance over other things, right? In this case, it's not, right? It's 3. Okay? Skylar?
What if I put apparently?
Apparently, yeah. You mean so it's not true, it just appears to be so. Cannot, right? Because apparently carries the meaning of it looks like that way, but I'm not sure whether it is or not. But in this case, I'm very sure that practicing gratitude will give me these 3 benefits. So apparently doesn't work because it's too vague and ambiguous. It's not focused, defined, and certain enough. Okay, Skylar? So no, cannot. Thank you very much for trying though. Those are all good alternatives, what Jarius and Skylar brought up. They're good, but they are good mistakes in that sense. Okay, you've made considered decisions. If you had written those words down, I would not be disappointed with you. Okay, even though you've gotten it wrong, right? I would still say these are good attempts at trying to make sense of the sentence. Okay, because you have actually followed the pattern. Okay, good. Let's move on. Right. 58. Who's next? Shijay, go.
Is the clue relationships?
Yes. Okay. Very good.
And the
So-
answer is builds.
Bills relationships. Okay, good. Bills, B-U-I-L-D-S, is that correct? Okay, good. I'm glad that you did your SVA because giving thanks is one, right? Giving thanks is one action, right? So giving thanks builds relationships. Excellent. But this has many possible answers. So let's hear a few possible answers, okay? Genevieve?
Strengthens.
Yes, I would agree with that. In fact, I would say that this is better because this implies that there's already an existing relationship that you are now making even better. Strengthens is a better answer, but builds is not incorrect, okay? Because you can also build on something that's already there, okay? So yeah, I would agree. Strengthens is a good answer. Yes, Adrian? Good job, everybody.
Can I write improves?
Yeah. Like I said, many possibilities, and improves definitely fits in as a synonymous answer. Good. Thank you very much, Adrian. Yeah. Improves relationships and helps to reduce stress. So anything positive, right? It fits here. And the idea of scaling up, improving, building upon, strengthening, all of that is definitely going to work here. Okay? And make sure it's all as, because subject-verb agreement rule, right? One puts as after the verb. Giving thanks is actually a singular collective action. Okay? Even though there are many actions within giving thanks. Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay, just a side note, you are very big with collective nouns and collective subject-verb agreement. So please be very alert when there's a collective noun involved. You all tend to just go the wrong way. So be alert. Okay, but this time you're good. Okay, Adrian, lower your hand, please. Okay, 59, go.
Acts of service.
Okay. Good. Acts of service is good. Very good.
The answer is do.
Do, okay. And that will be incorrect. Okay. I can see why you put do, and you are on the right track, but it's the incorrect form of the verb. Okay. So do is incorrect, because it does not fit. You cannot do acts of service, right? So remember, if you're not sure, right, take the verb out and apply it directly to what it is acting on. So can you do acts of service? No, you cannot. It sounds weird, right? Can you all hear that it sounds weird? If I'm going to do acts of service, it sounds weird. So what do I do with acts of service? How do I do it? I don't do it, but there's another verb that performs correctly in this case. Nicholas?
It might sound wrong, but is it perform?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, perform. People perform for us, right? And again, this is subject-verb agreement rule, right? Because there are many acts of service, so therefore perform. Many no S after the verb. So perform without an S. Good. You perform an act of service, or you perform acts of service. Good. Skylar?
This may sound wrong, but can I put provide?
Oh, you cannot provide an act of service. You can provide service, right? But you cannot provide an act of service. An act of service is something that must be performed. Okay, so it's collocated. Lucas, go ahead.
Can I put done?
Cannot. Do and done. Do is wrong. Done is even worse because done is in the wrong tense, right? It should be in the simple present tense. It shouldn't be in the perfect form, right? Do, act of service. So do already wrong. Done is wrong doubly because done is in the wrong tense form and it is incorrect in terms of collocation. Okay, Lucas, so cannot. Sorry. I want to pause here to commend all of you. Your answers give me great hope because even though this is a difficult passage, your answers are falling within the correct word class. And they are very close to the actual answer or in terms of meaning and intent. So very good, right? Even if you get it wrong, you can proudly say that you put in very considered thought and you gave quality answers, right? That's really the key. Because in secondary school, that ability to come very close to the answer and then work your way towards it is going to be important in a lot of things you do in English. Okay, so this skill is alive and well here. Very good. I'm very, very glad to hear it. Please work on it some more. Okay, as you listen to me reason it out, please try to follow the thought process yourself. So the next time you encounter a similar question, right, you can template it. Template means you can follow that process and arrive at a more accurate answer. Okay, try to capture the essence of what I'm doing. Okay, over time, right, you will get it. You will kind of follow along and you will take the extra step and you will bridge it to the correct answer. But you're close. You're very close. Okay, that was Clarice, right? Okay, so let's do the next triad. Okay, maybe Javen, can you do 60? Claire, can you do 61? Hao Qian, can you do 62? Okay, so maybe Javen, you start us off with the clue and then the answer.
On momentous occasions.
Okay, very good.
The answer is only.
Okay. Okay, I will 勉强接受. Or in those of you who don't speak Chinese, I will forcibly accept, because this is not the best answer. It's kind of awkward, but grammatically and sense-wise kind of works. But there is a better word. Okay, I challenge you to go one step beyond this. So Javen, you are correct, but I want a more advanced and elegant solution than only feels a bit clumsy to me. Dia?
This may sound weird, but is it saved?
You're on the right track, but no, saved is not correct. Okay, not accurate enough. Stephanie? On the right track though. Good.
Can it be reserved?
Yes. Can you spell reserve for me, please?
RESERVED.
Very good. Reserved in the past tense. Excellent. Okay. Reserved is the answer I'm looking for actually, but let me hear a few other answers and I'll explain to you why. Again, elegance, suitability, these are all things that you need to work with in English, because often in English, there's no exact one answer. There may be several on a spectrum of suitability. Okay, Skylar?
This may sound wrong, but can I put given?
Need to be given, is it? No, you cannot say given, because expressing gratitude is not something you give. Okay? Expressing gratitude is already in and of itself an expression. It's already delivered. Okay, so given is redundant, right? I'm not talking about how it is given. Okay, Action?
This may sound dumb, but for 60, can we put done?
Does not need to be done. No lah, gratitude is not something you do lah. Okay, again, it's an attitude, it's a state of mind. Okay, right? No. Ryan?
This might not sound correct, but can we put for 60, can we put just?
Does not need to be just for, no. Okay, there has to be an action involved here. Okay, some kind of an action lah. So that's why I say only is not a very elegant solution, because it's not actually an action, but it kind of shoehorn fits lah. You know, it's kind of like you jam a square peg into a round hole lah. You can do it lah, right? It can still, like, you know, kind of fit, but it's not meant for it. In the same way, this hole or this gap is meant for a verb. Okay, but you can kind of jam a preposition of time in here lah. It kind of works, but not the best. Okay, that's why I say only is a clumsy solution, but the more elegant and more equated solution is reserved. Okay, so why? Because expressing gratitude shouldn't be just reserved for special occasions, meaning I don't just save it, right? Dia, you said save, right? But in this case, the appropriate verb is reserve. You reserve gratitude. You don't save gratitude. Gratitude is not money. It's not a quantifiable object that you can hoard up, but it's an emotion that you save, reserve within yourself. Okay, so I hope you all get this idea of degrees of suitability. Yeah, there can be an answer that's correct, but not right, if you get what I mean, right? It may suit the gap, but it's not the most elegant and best fit for that gap. So when you use language in the future, I hope you'll develop this sensitivity to select the best fit, right? You could use a dozen words and they all may work, but there's one or two within that dozen that will make your language sound elegant, that will make it sound fluent, that will make it sound persuasive, that will make it sound powerful. And that's the power of language. You can choose different words and you can ramp up the degree of your communication power. So please, I hope you all get to that point lah. Slowly develop that awareness through reading and through practice. Okay. 61, please go ahead.
My clue is tons of words and feelings of gratitude.
Good. Okay.
My answer is express.
Good. Exactly. And the key clue here actually, Claire, is to, because this is a to infinitive. Can you see? Can you all see this is a to infinitive? It's a to verb in a base form, right? Remember to verb base form. Okay. So that's why express is express and not expresses, or not expressed or expressing. No, remember base form has no suffix. All suffixes are removed in base form. So to infinitive, to eat, to swim, to jump, to sing, right? To punch, all of it is the verb in its base form. Okay. Yeah. So be aware of that. Okay. So we can use tons of words to express feelings of gratitude. Good. Ike Cheng, alternative?
Can we put describe?
No, you're not using words to describe the feeling. You're using words to express the feeling. So cannot. Inaccurate use of the verb. Okay, Brian?
Can we put show?
No, you're not showing, you're expressing. Right? Show means to visually represent something. To show you something means to show you a picture, but you're not using pictures, you're using words. They're auditory. They're not visual. Okay, so inaccurate. Remember, I told you in oral also, you cannot say the clock is showing 3:30 p.m. Right? The clock doesn't show anything, right? You're reading it. You're using your eyes to read the number. So the clock reads 3:30 p.m. Right? Every one of you, please don't make a mistake. Don't say that a poster, right? A poster is telling you, right? The poster says, right? Be careful. Posters don't talk. Say that the poster reads, be careful or caution. All right? Reads. Posters read. Clocks read. Okay? Don't say show. So your expression of the verb is very important. Accuracy is very important. Okay, 62, go.
The clue is blessed and the answer is and.
Sorry, what?
The answer is and.
Oh, Hao Qian, incorrect. So you see, thankful, lucky, fortunate, humbled, blessed. Okay, I'm choosing between them one. I'm not putting them all together. You cannot be all those things at the same time. Okay, you're saying that out of all these words, right, I'm choosing one to express my gratitude. Okay, and I have to choose. I cannot just use all of them. Hambalang, no, cannot. Doesn't work that way, right? Yes, Yuza?
Or?
Or, yeah, that's it. Simply that. Okay, so you're thankful, lucky, fortunate, humble, or blessed. Okay, you choose one of those words, right? The whole point is that there are many words to express gratitude, like Claire just told us, but I'm going to choose one of them. I cannot use them all. Okay, 63, 64, 65. Let's have Angel 63, Dia 64, and Ryan 65 to end us off. Okay, so clue and answer, please. Thank you.
The clue is in.
Okay.
And my answer is return.
Okay. Very good. In return, it's kind of a collocated phrase. I don't think there's anything else that can fit in here besides in return. So someone is kind to us, we do it in return. We reciprocate. So the idea here is reciprocate. Okay. Kindness is something that we reciprocate. So in case this word comes out, which is highly unlikely, right? You know it lah. You reciprocate kindness, meaning you give kindness where kindness is given, right? Give and it will be given to you. The idea of giving and returning, right? Reciprocal or reciprocate. Okay, in return. Good. 64.
The clue is feel closer to,
Mm-hmm.
and my answer is others.
No, incorrect. Why? Because you missed out the clue. People. Okay, so the people are who you feel closer to, right? So when you express heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to people in our lives, it creates loving bonds and helps you feel closer to Joshua?
Them.
Yeah, to them. Okay. So not others are not generically others are. It is to that specific group of people that you have just shown gratitude to. Who are they? They are the ones that you will build stronger relationships with. So them. Okay, so be very careful. It's very far away, right? Remember, I told you the context further away from the clue, the more difficult the passage is. And you can see several examples here where context is distant from the answer. Okay, so good. A good mistake. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Others in a normal situation will be correct. But in this case, because of the people in our lives, it's incorrect. Okay, right. Last one, Ryan, finish us off so we can move on to synthesis. Clue and then answer, please. Thank you. Ryan, not Brian, Ryan. Ryan, hurry up. Okay, I'm sorry, Ryan. I have no time for you to do it on the spot. You should have done this beforehand. Irina, can you give us the answer, please? Thank you. Clue and answer.
In your
Okay, clue is in your and
life.
L-I-F-E, right? Okay, very good. Thank you. Please note here that can you see in their lives here, right? In their lives here. So the contrast is between their lives and your life. There's a contrast here, their lives and your life. The contrast is also meant to help you to answer the question, life versus lives. Okay, their lives, your life. Okay, Dia, go ahead. Alternative answer.
No, like I wrote life, but
Mm.
can the answer be in your possession?
In your what?
Possession.
In your possession. No, you pay attention to the things that you have in your life, not in your possession, right? So in your possession is purely what you have right now, but in your life means that all the things you've ever had, right, should contribute to your gratitude. That's a more all-encompassing statement. So it's not accurate to say possession because possession only refers to what you have now. Okay? But life means
Another question.
mm,
Is it likely for the PhD answers to be like not so reliable?
is it likely for the PhD answers to be what?
Not so reliable, like the answers are wrong kind of thing.
Unlikely, but there
Okay.
may be some difference between the PhD answers and mine because I will include more answers than PhD does, right?
No,
Because in
but
the
like the PhD one,
Mm.
like you know the first question, I think someone asked you if
Mm.
gratitude is not just an action, and the answer in the PhD booklet is actually just, and a few of the questions are like,
no, then it's incorrect, right? It's incorrect. Okay, yeah. So then it is one of the rare occasions when the answer key is incorrect.
So can you redeem $50?
I don't know. You could try. You could go and write in, but I really can't afford it lah. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. You can try. You're welcome. You can quote my example and my explanation if you wish. I give you permission. Okay, right. Let's move on. Okay. Right. If you're hard up for $50, go and look for PhD. Okay, come. 66. Okay, anybody volunteer? Otherwise, I'll just call out. Volunteer. Okay, Brian. Dia. Okay, let's start off with 66 and 67 first. Brian, do 66. Dia, do 67. Okay, go.
Melvin asked Alan if he must reply at that moment.
Incorrect. Must cannot remain the same because must is in the present tense. You got to change it right into the past tense. Right, must is present future tense. Skylar.
Melvin asked Alan if he had to give his reply at the moment.
Sorry, Skylar, repeat your moment. What's the word before moment?
That moment.
That moment. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let me highlight the points of transformation. So point transformation 1, if has to be inserted, must change to had to, I change to his, and then at that moment, this change to that. Okay? Correct. Thank you very much. Dia, next.
Every damaged chair has been repaired and repainted.
Okay, every damaged chair Very good. So I changed from chairs to chair, have to has. And then I combined the two sentences with the connector and. This is uncommon, okay? Usually you are just tested on one connector, but I don't know why this question tests you on two, every and an, okay? So damage chair, right? Chair, I changed from plural to singular because every is a collective noun, right? And then I have has because chair is now singular, have changes to has. Then and is to link, they have also been repainted, which is a repetitive phrase for 67, okay? I'm assuming that the people who raise their hands want to do the following questions, right? And not that you have alternative answers, correct? Okay. Skylar, maybe you can do 68. And Duncan, you can do 69. Okay? Yep. Carry on.
I wanted to point out that you wrote moments instead of moment.
Sorry, what is it?
For question 66.
Oh, sorry. My error, is it? I apologize. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyway, Skylar, carry on.
However exhausted my mother was after a hard day's work, she still prepared dinner for us.
Okay, no problems there. Okay, however exhausted, I think that's the main transformation. Was exhausted becomes exhausted, right? And then there's a comma in the middle, right? Okay. I have a few raised hands. I'm assuming that you have alternative answers, is it? Lucas?
Can we write, however exhausted after a hard day's work my mother was, she still prepared dinner for us.
No, cannot. Sounds awkward. Yeah. Because when you push the subject too far to the back, right, it becomes ambiguous lah. Okay. Yeah. So no, sounds a bit too awkward for me to accept. So no, even though it's technically yeah, I wouldn't accept it because it sounds very awkward. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, Lucas, 69. I'm sorry. Duncan, 69. Go ahead.
Before I say my answer for 69, can I tell you something? For 68, I wrote, however exhausted my mother is after a hard day's work.
But then you know synthesis rule number 2 states that you cannot change the tense unless it's reported speech, right? So if you break synthesis rule number 2, isn't it obvious that it's wrong? Yeah, so please don't ask questions that I've already covered before multiple times. You all remember your synthesis rules, right? Anytime any synthesis rule is broken, the answer is automatically wrong. There's no question about it. So it cannot be acceptable if you break any of the rules. Meaning change, tense change, no connector in the middle, your answer is longer than the question, you forgot to replace or cancel repeated words, you are wrong, right? There's no coming back from that, okay? It's a 0. So synthesis is very harsh that way, okay, Duncan? So you cannot expect that you make a mistake, you can redeem some points. Most of the time it's 0. So you have to be super uber careful here, right? I use the word super colloquially, right? Please don't use this in oral. A lot of you like to say super. Please don't use super. But generally speaking, what I'm trying to say is, and emphasize is, don't make any mistakes in synthesis. It's like a killing field. One small mistake, a minefield, right? The mine explodes, entire question blown up. So please don't do that, all right? Be careful with your answer. 69, go ahead, Duncan.
I wrote, despite Paul's insistence that he did not break the glass bowl, his mother did not believe him.
Yes, thank you. Good. Okay, so you will notice that for questions 66 to 68, these are questions with multiple points of transformation and synthesis. That's why it's a bit more challenging, right? The more points of inflection or transformation there are, the more difficult a synthesis question is, because then you have to be very systematic in checking and making sure that you have not left anything out. One thing you leave out, everything is wrong, okay? 70, who would like to end us off? Adrian, go. First raised hand.
The movie won many awards due to its popularity.
Thank you. Perfect. I am led to believe that you are generally quite okay. because of your responses during synthesis Zooms, you all tend to be quite confident. So I'm glad to hear that. Okay. I think at this stage, the normal synthesis questions will no longer be a challenge to you. Okay. What you want to practice, boys and girls, is the types that are many item transformations. Okay. So things like reported speech, active, passive voice, seek out those questions to practice. Okay. Your simple, however, due to, despite of, you're okay already. Okay. So look for active, passive, look for reported speech, look for points of transformation that require and many words. Okay. That way you will have practice that is more meaningful, right? Lucas, please mute yourself, right? I'm hearing your background noise. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the comprehension. Again, I mentioned this comprehension passage was taken from a secondary 2 comprehension text. Okay, so you can imagine the degree of complexity and difficulty, but it's been simplified a bit for PSLE, right? But this is actually a secondary 2 text. How do I know? Because I teach lower and upper secondary school students, and I've seen this particular passage before, right? And it is not easy. Okay, it is not easy, right? It's in one of the Sec 2 end of year examinations, in fact. Okay, so okay lah, we do the best we can now, right? The questions are simplified but still not easy. Okay, right, let's go. Okay, question number 71. Can I have Amelia try 71, please? Can I have Jafina, can you try 72, please? Okay, and then Heidi, can you try 73? Okay, try as many as you can. Okay, go. 71, please. Let's go. Main reason. Highlight main reason. 1 mark. Right there.
Dr. Jensen took pleasure in visiting new places and meeting people of diverse backgrounds.
You literally lifted, right? Okay.
Mr. Pang spelled Dr. Jensen wrongly.
Oh, sorry. Doesn't matter. Okay, here I want to make this point that okay, let me finish the point, then I'll entertain your answers. Okay, that even though this is a 1 mark question, they contains 2 parts, and you cannot omit both parts. So you cannot say Dr. Jensen enjoyed visiting new places, full stop. Or you cannot say Dr. Jensen enjoyed meeting people of diverse backgrounds, full stop. Cannot. You must have both of them together, because going to new places and meeting people are seen as one point with 2 sub-points. So you cannot divorce the 2. Okay, Dia?
In the passage, they
Yeah.
stated that most notably, she liked to narrate to her friends in New York about her experiences in other countries. So isn't that the answer?
She enjoys doing that when she's back in her own country, right? So that is what she likes to do when she's back in her own country. But why does she like to travel? She likes to travel because of those reasons. Then when she comes back to her own country, she likes to narrate her experiences. The narration of the experiences are not the main reason why she travels to those countries, if you get what I mean, right? It's a pleasure that attends to her when she's back in her own country, right? But when she's in the other country, can she narrate to other people about her experiences? No. So what does she enjoy when she travels? She enjoys the fact that she can meet new people and go to new places. That's what she enjoys. Okay, Dia? Have I convinced you?
No.
Okay, too bad. Okay, right, next. Lucas, yes?
Can I write, she took pleasure in visiting new places and found excitement and adventure irresistible.
New places and found what? Excitement and adventure. Where do you get that from?
The passage. The first paragraph.
No lah, okay. Finding adventure and excitement irresistible is too vague, right? What is it about the adventure and the excitement that is irresistible? It is the fact that she's traveling to different places and she's meeting new people. Those are the things that she enjoys the most, okay? Yeah, so again, I repeat to you, the question is, King, What is the main reason why Dr. Jensen liked to travel? So the traveling part is the key, the traveling part, okay? Not the actions associated with the traveling part, okay? So I hope I convinced you. If not, then too bad, okay? We'll take this offline, okay? We'll discuss this shortly later, right? Difference of opinion. Welcome to English, okay? You will have differences of opinions. Next, 72, sorry, Skylar, yes?
This may sound a bit irrelevant, but I wrote people of diverse backgrounds instead of people of diverse backgrounds. So I would like to ask whether you'll be marked down for grammatical errors.
No grammatical errors are marked down for incomprehension. So I'm happy to report no. You will get the full marks, okay? If you make spelling errors or grammatical errors, in most questions, you will be permitted to do so. However, if you have a reference question, like they ask you which word or which phrase, in those cases, the spelling and the context does matter. So if you copy the word wrongly, or if you put in an extra word, when they ask you for 4 words, you put in 5 words, then you will get marked wrong, okay? So those are the only instances where spelling and or grammar structure will matter. So look out for the kinds of questions that ask you for which word refers to, which phrase, you know, that kind of thing. Those are very strict. Okay, the others, I'm not asking you to be permissive, but the others, you don't have to be so stressed out about your language. Okay, it's perfectly fine. Full marks. Okay, anything else? No? Okay, let's move on. 72, please, go.
She made meticulous preparations for the travel in the tiger hunt.
Okay. What else? Carry on. What's the second one?
She paid 1,000 rupees for the hunt, which was a lot of money in those days.
Okay, so there are some kind of idea about numerous preparations, some kind of idea about the cost of the hunt being very high, and yet she being willing to pay it. These are acceptable. Skylar, go ahead.
What if for point number 1, we wrote Dr. Jensen made preparations for the travel and the tiger hunt very meticulously?
Meticulously, I accept. Okay, so as long as there's this, the word must be meticulously. Okay, so it's either extensive or meticulous. I accept both, right? Numerous preparations or preparations for very meticulous or very careful preparations. I'll accept both. Okay. Yeah. So there are quite a number of variations here, but the whole point being that she did a lot, or she did a lot, right? A lot very broadly, or a lot very deeply, and also she paid a lot. Okay. She did a lot, she paid a lot. Those are the 2 main points, if I can summarize. Okay. Good. Thank you very much. That was quick and easy. 73, Heidi, go. Ensure success. Heidi, cannot hear you. Duncan, please don't fool around. Thank you very much. This session is being recorded for your information. Heidi, yeah, go ahead. Heidi, are you there? Please incline your camera so I can see you. I can't hear you. Okay, can you please fix your microphone? Would somebody else like to volunteer for 73 while Heidi gets her microphone fixed? Okay, Skylar, go.
For the first
Skylar,
point,
you do 1, Dia, you do 2, Nicholas, you do 3. Okay, 73 part 1, Skylar, 73 part 2, Dia, 73 part 3, Nicholas. Okay, go. Part 1.
Dr. Jensen could take aim at a vantage point.
Okay, good vantage point. To aim from, okay? Or take aim from, or take aim, right? So the idea about a vantage point that she can aim from, that's the main point, okay? So the purpose of the platform is for her to have a vantage point that she can aim from. Good. Okay, point number 2, go ahead.
To act as a bait and lure the tiger to the middle for Dr. Jensen to shoot it.
Okay, bait to lure the tiger out, or to lure the tiger into the clearing, or to lure the tiger into the center where the doctor could shoot it, all perfectly fine. So the main point is bait. Okay, yeah. And hold on now for alternative answers. Let's hear the 3 answers first. Nicholas, the last one. Very aged tiger.
To guarantee Dr. Jensen that it'll be very safe.
Right, safety for Dr. Jensen, right? Yeah. And Marilyn, right? By extension. Okay, so first point, good vantage point, and aim from. Second point, bait to lure the tiger out. Third point, safety for Dr. Jensen, or you can just say guaranteed kill. Okay, guarantee a kill for them. That can also work. Okay, Jairus?
For 73 part 3, can we say that is to like, if Dr. Jensen missed, it will be very difficult for the tiger to escape because like very old.
Okay, difficult for the tiger to escape. I'll accept that, right? That goes towards the guaranteed kill, right? It is the same as the point about the fact that it will still be a kill either way. Okay, good. Okay, user?
Can the second part be when that Dr. Jensen could shoot the tiger when he was devouring the goat?
No, it's got incorrect, because I'm asking you why it must be an aged tiger. Why must it be an old tiger? So you're not answering the fact that it's old, right? Why is it old?
For the second part.
Oh, second part. Say again. You have to tell me which part, lah, dear.
I see. My second part is Dr. Jensen could shoot the tiger when it was devouring the goat.
Okay, yes, I accept that. So it's the bait to lure the tiger out where Dr. Jensen can shoot it, lah, right? So that's the same point. Okay, yeah, I accept that. Thank you. Yeah, Duncan?
70, okay, for tie a goat to a small tree in the middle of a field, I wrote to lure the tiger to devour it so that Dr. Jensen should shoot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, right? Lure the tiger out so Dr. Jensen can shoot. Yeah, so I'm not sure why you need to repeat that, but yes, it's acceptable. Okay?
And I also vote for 73, select a very aged tiger. I vote so that it would be safe.
Yeah, again, safety, safe. But again, did you mention safe for whom?
No.
Then it's incorrect, okay? It must be safe for Dr. Jensen, right? Safe for the villagers can also be safe, right? So it's not safety for the villagers, it's not safety for Marilyn, it's safety for Dr. Jensen. So there must be an attribution of safety to Dr. Jensen or guaranteed kill, right? Guaranteed kill, you don't need to mention Dr. Jensen because obvious Dr. Jensen is the one that's doing the killing, okay? Right, let's move on. 74, volunteers, anybody? Same few people, huh? Okay, can I have some other people? Sing Tong, can you do 74? 75, Dia? Okay, go. Sing Tong, 74.
The goat bleed because the tiger was about to eat the goat.
Okay, so please answer this question in sets. How did it show its fear? It bleated. So that's 1 mark. Why was it fearful? It was aware that it was about to be eaten, okay, by the tiger. Okay, so that's your 1 mark, 2 marks for this. Okay, very good. Yeah, sorry, Nicholas, go ahead.
For the second part, why was it fearful? Can you just put that the tiger was approaching it?
Not quite, because you have to explain why the tiger approaching it causes the fear. So you're not explaining it, you're simply narrating a set of facts. Okay, but why is the tiger approaching it causing it fear? Because it is fearful of being devoured or attacked by the tiger. So that part is the answer. Okay, be very careful when you write an answer, the answer must answer the question. Okay, the tiger approached, yeah, so what? If I need to ask another question, that means that you're not complete in your answer. Okay, so always go one step further. Skylar?
This is a long answer. For the second part of question 74, I wrote the goat sensed its impending doom after the tiger spotted it in the middle of the field and moved towards it.
Yeah, so sense impending doom is lifted off the passage, but it does answer the question that there is some threat to its life because of the tiger. So I accept that. Okay. But as far as possible, try to, rephrase it, right? And use your own words, especially if it can be more accurate than that. Impending doom, it's a bit vague, but I accept it. Okay. Yep. Okay, next, 75, go.
For the word, it's apprehensively, and the three-word phrase is in cold sweat.
Very good. Thank you. Perfect. No problems there. Okay, and again, for this 76 process one, I'm not going to ask anybody, I'll just tell you. Okay, she paid 1,000 rupees, a platform was constructed, then she shot a code. Okay, 132. All right, very straightforward lah. These last few times, the sequential answers have been very easy for PhD 17 and 18. So not worth a challenge. Okay, let's move on. Okay, very good. We are doing even better time than yesterday. So good job. We should finish this before 11:15, which was my target. Okay, good. Okay, 77, quick. Somebody give me a leg up and let's go quickly. Okay, Dia, go. Brian, you can do 78. Okay, 77, go, Dia.
It's true,
True.
the answer. And they guaranteed Dr. Johnson it would be safe.
Okay, they guaranteed Dr. Jensen's safety. Okay, there are numerous other alternative answers. Now, let me explain to you before you give me alternative answers. Okay, the other alternative answer is that they prepared everything quickly. They were experienced in preparing for tiger hunt, right? They were able to put all the things together for Dr. Jensen's hunt. Okay, so these are some alternative answers that I would accept. Okay, the readiness by which they could make the preparation, the guarantee that they gave for Dr. Jensen's safety, right? All of these are possible answers. Okay, Jairus?
Can we say that they successfully completed the plan?
No, you could be first timer and still successfully complete. Okay, so no, not sufficient. It's the experience, it's the sense of familiarity, it's the speed of preparation, it's the guarantee that they can give. So obviously you can guarantee someone only if you've done it so many times that you are so experienced in it, right? Joshua?
Can we write the villagers knew what to do?
Yeah, that goes to experience, right? They are very experienced, so they know exactly what to do in order to put the hunt together, right? They knew what to do, right? Or they put everything together very efficiently, very quickly. Anything like that is perfectly fine. Okay, they work together very well to put everything together, right? All of this shows their experience. Okay, Skylar?
I wrote they had made all arrangements before Dr. Jensen arrived in India. Does this indicate the speed of the villagers' performance?
Yes, it does, right? The fact that they are able to put everything together even before she arrives goes to speed and experience. Adrian, mute yourself, please. Thank you. Right. Okay. Carry on, Dia.
For the next one is false. They only got down the platform the next morning to check on the tiger.
Okay, they only got off the platform the next morning, right? They waited one night to be safe. Okay, they didn't want to approach the tiger before then. Okay, good, correct. Duncan, yes?
Can I write? They waited until the next morning.
Yes. Brian?
I write. They checked on the tiger the next morning.
Yeah. Okay, Dia, next.
The next one is true. She had to buy a small house for her to keep her quiet on the tiger hunt.
Very good. Okay, excellent. Right. Jairus, go ahead.
Mr. Bang, can the answer be false? Because right, after she bought her the house, then she threw a big party, right? And she wouldn't throw a big party if she was not confident that she would keep her secret, right?
No, she only threw the party after she bought her a house. If she threw a party before she bought her a house or didn't buy her a house, then yes, that will show her confidence in keeping the secret. But when you bribe someone, right, That's no longer keeping a secret, right? That's covering their mouth with money, right? You buy someone off, right? That's not keeping a secret. That's already like, I don't know what you call it, blackmail, you know, there are different terms for it, but it's definitely not keeping a secret. Okay, so if you buy someone off, then you get confident that they will not betray you. The confidence is not in the keeping of the secret. The confidence is in your money, right? The money that you paid to keep that secret. Okay, so no, fine distinction, but one that exists nonetheless. Okay, but good. Thank you for checking. So next time, I know if you tell me you're confident in me, you know, there's the money and it's not the trust. Okay, right. Let's move on. 78. Let's see. Claire, can you do 78, please? Thank you.
Bang, I thought you picked me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. CJ, you do 78. Claire, do 79. Adrian, do 80. Okay, go.
Mr. Pang.
Yes, Brian.
I thought you picked me for 78.
Yeah, carry on.
For 78, right? Yes, it's because she managed to return to New York with the tiger skin.
Okay, so she managed to obtain the tiger skin, or she managed to get the tiger skin. That is, yes, it was successful for that reason. The outcome was successful. Okay, or rather, she was happy with the outcome because of that. And no, why?
She had to buy a small house for Marilyn, which cost more than the tiger hunt. So Marilyn would keep the tiger hunt a secret.
Okay, so can you summarize that? So she spent more money on Marilyn than on the tiger hunt, right? So the reason why she may have felt that it was unsuccessful is because she spent more money keeping Marilyn quiet than she did on the actual hunt itself. Okay, yes, Skylar, go ahead.
Well, for the second point, I wrote Marilyn pointed out that the goat had been shot instead of the tiger and that the tiger probably died, right?
Okay, so that is Marilyn's perspective. Okay, so Marilyn's perspective is that the hunt was unsuccessful because Dr. Jensen had not shot the tiger. But that was not Dr. Jensen's perspective. Remember, Dr. Jensen's perspective is not to shoot the tiger. It is to come back with a tiger skin to boast to her friends. That's her objective. And in that sense, her objective was reached. But what prevented her from being fully successful was the amount of money she had to pay unexpectedly. So she expected to pay 1,000 rupees for the tiger skin, but she did not expect to have to pay money to silence her servant. Okay, that part was what rendered it slightly unsuccessful, I would say. Okay, Skylar? So be careful of which perspective. We are asking from the perspective of the doctor and not from the perspective of Marilyn, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, again, I hope I've convinced you. If not, then we can take this offline and discuss it later, okay? Yeah, thank you. Right. Okay, Yusa, yes, go ahead.
For the yes part, can I put she showed off her tiger skin by throwing a party?
Oh, she showed off her tiger skin. Yeah, that goes to the fact that she obtained a tiger skin to show off. Yeah, okay, I'll accept that. Yeah, thank you. So mention of the tiger skin, right, whether it's being showed off or whether she obtained it, I will accept that. Okay, because the whole point was the success of this depended on her obtaining the tiger skin. So yes, thank you, Yusa. That's good. Right. Right, Claire, 79.
I put 1,000 rupees for the first one, and the second one is the villagers' shouts.
Okay. Okay, all correct. Nothing to add to that. Anybody else have something to add? No, okay, good. Maybe just a quick point. For question 79, this amount in line 11, there may have been some of you who wrote that this amount refers to the expenditure for the hunt. Okay, which will be incorrect. You need to be precise to say that it's the 1,000 rupees and not just say that it is the expenditure for the hunt. But if you wrote the 1,000 rupees, which was the expenditure for the hunt, it is okay. As long as you mention 1,000 rupees is correct, because that's the specific thing that the word this amount is referring to. The amount is 1,000. There must be the number there. Okay, yes, Claire? You spelled it, is it?
No, as in like the marks given is 3 marks. It's supposed to be
sorry.
2.
Yeah, again, this is the same mistake as the previous paper, right? Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, 2 marks. Thank you. Anything else? If not, then Adrian, can you close us out with question 80? And we are very comfortably before 11:15. Very good. Adrian, is Adrian still here? Did Adrian log off? Oh dear. Okay, Adrian disappeared. Okay, would somebody like to? Okay, Dia, close us off.
Yes.
Yes.
She had to pay 1,000 rupees for the hunt, which was a lot of money back then, and had to buy a house costing more than the hunt to keep Marilyn quiet.
Okay, perfect. Right. So you have to mention both lah, right? Both costs that she incurred, right? So one, she had to pay 1,000 rupees for the hunt, and even more than that to buy a house to keep Marilyn from quiet. Okay, or to keep Marilyn from sharing her secret, something to that effect. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to abridge it. Okay, Skylar, yes.
May I ask why we have to mention that she bought a house for Marilyn to be kept quiet?
May you ask why you have to put in the fact about Marilyn being bought a house, is it? Okay, because you have to explain why it's too pricey. Why was this hunt pricey? So the hunt was pricey for 2 reasons, right? One, they have to pay 1,000 rupees for the hunt itself. And 2, after the hunt, she had to then pay money to keep Marilyn quiet. Otherwise, the entire hunt would have been wasted, right? People will laugh at her and make fun of her for having just paid money to get a tiger hide, not having even shot the tiger. So that would have defeated the purpose. So both expenses actually went towards the hunt. One was to get the tiger pelt. The other one was to prevent people from laughing at her, right? When they discover the truth about how she got the tiger pelt. Okay, so yes, I think it's both acceptable. Yeah.
How many marks will I get if I only wrote one of the reasons?
So if you put yes, she had to pay 1,000 rupees for the hunt, right? 1 mark. Okay, so the yes in this case has no marks lah, right? The 1,000 rupees is 1 mark, and the buying a house for Marilyn is 1 mark. But if you put no, is 0 lah, right? If you put no, the straight answer is 0 no matter what you write after that. Yes is the gate, but the gate itself has no marks. Okay, so that's how I would divide the marks. Right? Yes, Duncan?
I wrote, yes, she had to pay for the flight to India, the arrangements, and the house to keep Marilyn quiet.
So you left out the 1,000 rupees, is it? I accept it. I'll accept it with full marks. Yeah, because the 1,000 rupees is not specifically required here. You just have to say that she paid for a hunt and then she paid for the house. Okay, yeah, I'll accept it. Yeah, user?
Can I write yes? She said it was too pricey only because she had to buy a small house for Marilyn to keep her quiet, which cost more than the tiger hunt.
Okay, so this one I will only give 1 mark because you don't mention the fact that the tiger hunt is also pricey, or the tiger hunt also had to be paid for by her. Okay, so it's not clear enough in your response. It's a bit ambiguous, but you need to list both items as items that were pricey. Okay. Duncan, yes. Then lower your hand, please. All right, good. I'm taking it that most of you have finished and have no alternative answers, right? Okay. Then I'll just make a few quick announcements that I'll dismiss you all. Thank you very much. This will be the final Zoom for the holidays. But that means that next week, we will carry on with Zoom now, right? It's just that it will not be holiday Zoom anymore. It will be like back to normal Zoom, right? When that day will be, I must let you know in advance because I'm not sure about the remedial and the enrichment schedules, which I'll be involved in. So it will depend on which afternoons I'm free, then which afternoons you are free also, okay? So please stay, akan datang, give me a moment, let me go and schedule everything, then I'll let you all know, okay, how it's going to work out. But please go and review your oral, please go and look through your notes, and then please send me your PhD 16, 17, 18 scanned or picture over WhatsApp by today. Finish PhD 19 tomorrow, and PhD 20 the following day. so that we have all 5 papers ready, if not corrected, by Monday. Can everybody? If you haven't scheduled a oral session with me, which is I think only 1 or 2 of you left, the rest of you, I think 38 of you, I've already gone through at least once. Please do so. If you want to schedule additional session with me, please again send me a separate WhatsApp, and then according to my schedule, I'll try to arrange something with you. Okay. If not, then thank you everybody. Good job. Well done. It was a good session today, if I may say so. Right. Well done in participation and in the quality of your answers as well. Okay. Good job. Right. You may leave if you have nothing else. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good holiday weekend. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Try to relax.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Mr. Pang,
Yep.
the person in the passage is lying. 1,000 rupees to the New York dollars, only $8 in New York.
Do you know how long ago this story was, dear? This was before steam engines there. Right? Inflation.
How do they still have this passage then?
Because we have passages that go all the way back to like 16th, 17th century, Shakespeare. Why do we study that, right? It's to give us a window into the past, right? So we get an idea about how things were like back in the day, how things have changed now. Okay, perspective, dear, perspective. Okay, yeah, that's all. Bye.